everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today it's going to be kind of a tricky video for me to film because I'm going to try to convey the playability and the feel quality of these instruments from Mike Lull Custom Guitar Works here in Washington. Yeah, it's going to be tricky, but I'm going to try my best because these instruments have kind of ended my search for the perfect guitar, at least for me. After playing Suhrs for many years, which are great, these have set the precedent. So want to kind of leave it at that and then just kind of show you some of the specs, maybe some close-up shots of these instruments, and just talk about why these are the most amazing instruments that I've played. So quick backtrack. I've been going to them for repair work for about 15, 17 years, something like that. And in that time, I got to talk to Mike quite a bit, have him work on my guitars. Just a really great guy, puts customer service above anything else. Like, you feel like you were the most important person when you walk into that shop, which is it's really hard to do, especially when you're having a bad day. He just always made you feel important. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, he passed away. But he left the shop to his son Spencer, who now owns the shop. There has been zero fall off in that transition period, which is really a shout out to Spencer, but also a shout out to Mike as well, for instilling that sense of legacy into Spencer. Like, Spencer was always at the shop when he was a kid and plays these exclusively as well. So there was no fall off. It's also a shout out to Preston, who also is at the shop every day, running the front desk, taking in orders and repairs. It's also a shout out to the guys that Mike hired and who Spencer has hired in that time. Those guys are just masters at what they do. So shout out to Tom, who worked with Mike since the beginning. Shout out to Michael, shout out to Garrig and Anthony and Alex as well, and past guys as well. John, who moved away last year, was always working on my guitars as well. Shout out to you as well, my friend. But let's get to talking about these instruments and why they're so amazing. This is my first one that I ever got. This is an SX Custom, so obviously S style guitar. I'll put a picture of what this looked like before I took ownership of it. It had Lindy Fralin split blades, the single coil ones here, and in the humbucker as well. It had two Tele dome knob controls here, still a 5-way switch, and it was great. Still the same playability, everything, but just wasn't my look. I was coming from a Suhrs Matthias Asado signature. Always kind of been that traditional S-style look, minus the humbucker, right? But wanted that look, so they were nice enough to put this loaded pickguard in for me before I took ownership. These have Lawler Blondes, low end Imperial. This has push-pull to split the humbucker. So basically you get 7 different tones in here, which is awesome, makes it super versatile. It sounds great. It does my like John Mayer thing that I really wanted it to do. But let's talk about kind of the most important part, the neck. That's what we play. It's the neck. And if it doesn't feel right, it's gonna probably not stay around for a long time. They have some secret sauce that they do to these that I don't know about, but they also have this recipe for how a guitar neck should feel like in terms of specs, and also a recipe for like the whole thing in general. But neck, it's a roasted flame maple neck, beautiful. This is a 3A, I believe. We have the Indian rosewood on the front. This is a slim C, so it is 0.800 to 0.860, which is kind of their go-to. And some of you might think that that's pencil thin. It is not. It actually fills the hand, and I have like average size hands, right? But it fills the hand because of something really important right here, the nut width, which is 1 11/16 inches. So you don't have as much behind, but you get more kind of in this area right here, which it just fills the hand nicely. But something that they do to these necks, I think this is finished in some sort of true oil, some sort of oil, but over time it feels super smooth. So this is 2 years with this guitar, and it just gets better and better with more play. The frets, we have jumbo stainless steel frets, which after 2 years, there's zero fret wear, like nothing. If you pick this up, besides the patina here, you'd think it's a brand new instrument. Plecked right at the shop, as all their instruments are, and it's perfectly leveled because they've had this pleck for 15, 16 years. They know how to use it. They were one of the first on the West Coast to have one. Something really important about these necks, I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up. We'll post a picture. How about that? But it's like the bevel on the fret ends, the rolling of the fretboard edge, the rolling of the fret ends as well. It just feels premium. I don't know how to explain it. Like I said, it's gonna be a really tricky video, but it's the perfect angle to the point where you can feel where the frets are, but it's not to the point where it's like super bumpy, like train tracks bumpy. Over 2 years being in Washington, we have a lot of crazy weather changes. Never any fret sprout. Now, granted, I keep my guitars in their cases, but you know, you're gonna have stuff like that happen. Never anything wrong with these, but it just feels so good. The other thing with this 1 and 11/16 inch nut width is you get a lot more real estate on the sides, but also really nice string spacing. So I call it like the cross-pollination of a Gibson neck spec, because it's also the 12-inch radius, but in an S-style type of guitar. So it's perfect. The nut is also just cut perfectly, so you have optimal playability all the way up and down. The neck, let's talk about the body. So we have really nice contour here, a little bit deeper tummy contour here. On the back, you have another little contour right here on the lower horn. And then right here, you have this, this neck joint angle right here. So it's nice and comfortable to get it into the upper register. As you can tell, there is some material taken away. Like if you were to hold up a S-style body right here, you'd see like right here, there's material taken away. Definitely the horns, they're a little bit sharper, I guess you could say. So there's material taken away. So it's overall a lighter guitar that's around like 7.4 pounds, something like that, 7 pounds, 4 ounces. But just perfect. Finished in this shell pink, which is awesome. But overall, like this is my go-to, but it is the perfect guitar. I wish I could just hand this to you through the video so you could play one, but trust me, like I've had about 5 or 6 close friends sell a lot of their stuff to get Mike Lull guitars, and they don't regret it at all. Most of them have bought multiple Mike Lull guitars since then. So these are worth every penny, and all the love that goes into them. It's real. So that's this one. And then we have this TX, which I've used in videos. I haven't really talked about it much, which is my fault. But the neck is spec'd exactly the same as the other one, except it is just a maple, roasted flame maple though. And same neck shape, 0.800 to 0.860, slim C. Same feel right here. Like it just feels like butter. Like I don't know how to explain it, just to tell you go buy one. and your search will probably end right here. Jumbo stainless steel frets again. On their T-style guitars, they do a contour here. They do the tummy contour here. They still do the same thing here with this angle at the neck joint. There's a little bit more pronounced contour right here on the lower horn. Something really cool that they do on pretty much all their TXs is a angled switch right here. I don't know, it just a cool modern feature. So I don't know, it just feels right when you're switching pickup positions. Let's see, on this one they did open gear hip shot locking tuners, which is really cool. One other thing is they take into account the angle at which the strings are going over the nut. That's why you see two string trees here and one here, just to account for that downward pressure. And every instrument's going to be a little bit different because of different tolerances, but they take that into account, which is really cool. Let's see, something else that we can talk about. Oh, so this is like my dream telly. I know people say dream guitars, whatever, but it's what you paint a picture of in your mind, right? The perfect guitar for you. And for the longest time I was wondering, like, what would my perfect telly look like? And I was always on that Suhrs generator, custom order generator page on Matt's Music and coming up with something, and it looked like this. And I didn't know this one was being built, but then I had to have it when it was built because this was like the exact thing that I wanted. It's charcoal black, has that metallic-y kind of thing in it, torque guard, roasted flame neck, maple on the front. It's just kind of what my vision of the perfect telly was, and they built it. So I'm just really fortunate to have this one. It's lighter than that one, obviously because there's no trim in it, but it's not like light neck divey light, which is cool. It's just super balanced. These are custom wound Lindy Fralin pickups to the spec of what Mike Lull wanted back in the day. And it had to work with a 4-way switch, which they do pretty much exclusively. So 4 position are these two in series. So it's kind of like a faux humbucker almost, but then you get your normal telly type of positions in here. Let's turn this around. Last thing, the bridge compensated brass saddles, but then you can see there's no ashtray, which is really cool. Makes it really comfortable to play. I think the most important thing is I don't feel like I'm playing 2 different guitars when I switch between these two. It's more the pickups and the sound, the sonic sound, but it feels the same, like the action is the same. I don't feel like I'm ever going to fret out because these are perfectly polished and level. But yeah, this was a really hard video to kind of have beginning, middle, and end, an order. So I hope you're able to follow along, but overall, I hope you can sense the love for these. It's real, just love these instruments. They feel great in my hands when I'm playing them. They are stable, they sound great, but overall the people are great to work with to get you your instruments. So I'll link all their stuff in the description box below. Check them out, check out their Instagram. They have pictures of all their custom orders, all their stock pieces, but they're great to work with. So if you're thinking of getting your perfect guitar, check them out. They offer this TX, SX, TX Chubby. They also have some others that they will mock up for you as custom orders as well. But check them out, and we'll talk to you later.